Hello, hello, everybody. I think we're live now. Hello, Robert. Oh, dear, Richard's stumbling around already. Haven't even started drinking yet. How is everyone? It's really weird here tonight. It was beautiful blue, sunny sky, and it was really warm. Hello, Emily and Kevin. Good to see you. Hi, Anne. Hello, Peter, Karen, Fiona and David, Shell and Andrew, and Alison won the race today. Good to see you. Yeah, it's really warm today. Hello, Kay. Lovely to see you. I've already had a photograph of Peter and Karen's boeuf bourguignon, so I'm glad to see that the guys on holidays. You're on constant holidays now, aren't you guys, up in Queensland? Hello, Cotty and John. Nice to see you. Oh, look, I just got to do this for a second. Just bear with me. My email is on and binging at me, but that's okay. Hello, Karen. Oh, you're on commentary tonight, Karen. Excellent. Hello, Joan. I hope you're there too. Hello, Sue and Jeff. Yes, like a cyclone out there. It was insane. We went for a little early dog walk this afternoon because we saw the weather coming across, and we nearly got blown away. Little Tallulah Bell, who's, hey, Tallulah, come here. I don't think you've been on telly before. Tallulah Bell. Yeah, come here and say hello. Come here and say hello to my friends. This is Peter's dog, Tallulah. Say hi. Look, Nina, you can't. Tallulah, just relax. It's okay. Nina might be there. Hi, Nina, if you're there. Peter's going to take you home in a minute. But we thought Tallulah was going to get blown away. Go on, you're too black. No one can see you. Joni's wonderful. Excellent. Good work. She is quite cute. She's a poodle schnauzer cross, apparently. Schnoodle, we call her here. So yeah, it's really windy. Like over there, it looks like Armageddon. The sky's gone black and it looks like it's about to absolutely teem down with rain. Over there, the clouds are kind of grey and steel coloured and blue, and it's just the sky's amazing. Hi, Peter. Don't forget your dog. So good night to be inside under a roof with some Pinot Noir, I reckon. What else? Have I missed anything? No. Yeah, Alison, I thought we were going to get blown away, and poor old Sue got leaves in her face. It was horrible, dreadful, but we're all okay. So it's time to have a glass of Pinot. Pinot glass, hurrah. So I don't know if everyone's got their wine in their glass already, but I'm going to put mine in a decanter again because I think that helped. I think that's helped the last couple of weeks, actually. Alison, ahead on mushroom fettuccine for dinner, and the Pinot is fine. Excellent to hear. Rob and Deb, yeah, big blobs on the radar coming our way. Absolutely. So glad to have done all the outside stuff, ready for inside stuff now. So 2016 Moorooduc Estate Pinot Noir. We had the 16 Chardonnay last week, so this is nice synergy. And you know what? I've started working on, you won't be surprised to hear this, but I've started working on box 5 because it took me a little bit surprised that we're up to wine 4 of box 4 already. So we've only got, after tonight, we've got 2 more wines to go. Look at me talking and pouring and hopefully not spilling anything all at the same time. I can't read your comments though while I'm decanting. Nearly there. Done. Excellent. Oh, shell wallaby steaks and creamy mash. Yum. That sounds delicious. Right. Now in the glass. It's a nice colour, isn't it? Very garnet. One sniff and one sip of this wine, and the rest of the world doesn't matter. Thank you, Rob and Deb. That's lovely. Fillet and black bean and shiitake go. Oh yeah, David. I do think that a wine like this can cope very well with sort of slightly Chinese, Asian flavours as well. So not too much chili, but those nice kind of salty. Someone else said something. Jackie, Jack, and Zach and Hannah. Hi guys. Cheers. All right. So. Oh, God, it's looking beautiful, isn't it? Gee, it smells delicious. Not hot tonight. Good, David. But that black bean and shiitake, I think, would be absolutely delicious with it. Pan-fried mushrooms on toast and shiitake mushroom crisps. Yum, Anne. That sounds delicious. All right. So this is a wine that does not need a lot of work to open it up because it's already very expressive. Cotty and John are having inauthentic Peking duck with duck egg pancakes with Deb and Rob's beautiful eggs. It's just started raining at Fingal. I know, I can hear, it sounds like it's just about started raining here too. So good evening to be in with a glass of Pinot or two. What's it like up in Sydney? I heard that the weather's been gorgeous up in Sydney this week. And Queensland. How is it up there? Beautiful. We're having typical Mornington Peninsula spring weather at the moment. I agree, Shell. There's definitely a slight sulphide lit match, a little bit of campfire smokiness to this wine in a really lovely kind of, so the just slightly charred wood coming from the new oak, which is gorgeous. Hello, Sue. How delicious this wine is. Ah, the Dies. Hello, Dies. 10 p.m. yesterday. Cheers to you guys. Good work. And I just realised that I failed to respond to Keely's message yesterday. I'm so sorry. I hope you worked out which one we're having next week because I haven't quite worked that out yet either. You tell me which one you've taken, which other wine you've taken to Hawaii, and we'll do that next week. That's easy. If you've taken a second wine, you tell us and we'll do it. Sydney, dry, no rain, for a while warm, but hasn't decided we're heading for summer yet. Fair enough. All right, back to the wine. It's beautiful colour. It's with that much in the glass. It looks quite dense, but with some light through it, which is a bit difficult, but I do have my circle light over there. I think I'm working different places in the room for the circle light. And it's got this kind of dusty black pepper character and sort of spicy, little bit of, what am I smelling? Cardamom? Bit of nutmeg. Oh, Nareem, I'm so sorry. I failed you guys with the messaging, but you'll have to just enjoy your holiday next week and catch up on the wine when you get home. I hope you have a beautiful time in Hawaii. That sounds amazing. So dusty, peppery, nutmeggy, little bit of cardamom in there. It's sort of quite lifted spices, even though they're quite dusty spices. But there's also this gorgeous, thank you, you're very kind. There's this gorgeous sort of dark cherry fruit in there as well. Little tangy sort of pomegranate molasses. Oh, I got a face full of what are they called? The wattle blossom in my face on the walk, and now I'm all snuffly. So you'll have to excuse me. I can't blame the cats today. I think it's spring and pollen starting, so I have to get on the drugs with that. Yeah. So Fiona's saying that you're finding the wine's really accentuating the shiitake taste. I agree. This wine is in a really beautiful place to match to mushrooms, shiitake particularly, because they're a really lovely kind of earthy but lifted floral kind of mushroom. And I think that this wine has got that slightly earthy, mushroomy, almost truffly but not quite aromatic, really cool match with a wine with a Pinot Noir with this little bit of bottle age to mushrooms. Rob and Deb are pairing it with truffled manchego, which I think is another really good idea. And I think we talked about 2016 last week and how it was a slightly warmer year than a cooler year. Okay, great with your beef cheeks. I bet that would be delicious as well. This wine, because it's got that lovely lifted acid as well as the black fruit and the spice, it can cope with the sort of the meatiness of mushrooms. It can cope with the meatiness and slight fattiness of protein. And it's why I think this is a great wine to match to a steak or a beef bourguignon, because the beef bourguignon's got that slow cook, the meat all kind of melts. and the mushrooms and the little onions and the gravy all kind of come together to give you extra kind of umami deliciousness. And this one really, and it's the umami in the mushrooms and the meat that really works with the developing fruit in this wine. It's not all fruit. It's becoming more than just fruit. The spices coming forward. The herbal notes have kind of fallen back, and you're getting this lovely. It's not quite tomatoey in its perfume note, but it's kind of going in that direction. And I think that's really, really lovely. I think when I say sort of persimmons and tangy black cherries, I think is really what does it for me. There's a tiny bit of sort of salted plum in there as well. It's really gorgeous. And some rose petal as well. The rose petal's kind of dried out a little bit, so it's not just really, bright red roses, but just sort of settling down. No, I reckon Cotty as well. Cotty's saying that she wasn't sure whether it was the food, the Chinese plum sauce, but the plum is also in the wine. I reckon there's kind of a sour plum, sour cherry, persimmon, not persimmon, what am I talking about? Pomegranate molasses, kind of a note to it, which is both kind of that sweet and sour character that you get in those sauces, which is rather lovely. Peter and Jill and Richard have been talking about light fittings for their downstairs renovation, so they've been a bit slow on the uptake coming to get the wine, but Richard's on his way over to steal the decanter now. There's also a real kind of lift to this wine, which is, we were talking a little while ago about some sort of non-fruit, non-spice aromatics that you get in wine sometimes. And if it's too much, then it can be very overwhelming. But just a little bit of this is going to sound weird, but a tiny little bit of a hint of whiteboard marker. So that kind of that kind of tangy, sweet, slightly chemical smell. But a lot of people find it very appealing. I happen to be one of them. I don't go around sniffing my whiteboard markers too much, but there is that kind of slight, not fruit, not spice, not green, not floral character as well. It's not petrol or kerosene or tar. It's a little bit more lifted than that. I think this rain is bringing on my allergies as well. So you'll just have to deal with me being a bit snuffly again tonight. So it's pretty normal. Oh, good, Kay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Oh, itchy nose. Eek. Okay, I can do this. There's also like a tea leaf kind of perfume to it as well. So it's like a dried leaf, dried herb kind of note that's really quite intriguing and hard to describe. So Rob and Deb are asking which of the three vineyards do I think is expressing itself most, if at all? And I think that's a really difficult question to answer with the wine at this stage of its life, because I think it's got a little bit of all of them, but it's melded really nicely. There's Peter. Pete, you have to wave when you go into the camera shot. Say hi. You had to get his dog. She doesn't like leaving when she had the opportunity to be on television and all her friends are here. Very disappointing. Smelly text is from school, the maroon one. Yeah, absolutely. Dad, could you do me a favour and grab me a tissue? Because I think I'm going to sneeze in about 2 minutes. A couple of tissues, maybe. Thank you. I'd forgotten about spring. What a pain. Yeah, it's sort of coming up a little bit more as well, but the red fruit in the wine is also coming through. Maybe that's the maroon texture. Thank you, Dad. I think that, so Rob and Deb are bringing us back to serious wine talk. Thank you very much. The rose petals are more Robinson and the savoury notes come more from the dark. I think that's right. But the garden vineyard gives it that lovely roundness in the mid-palate, which I think is really important and that you don't necessarily see. There's kind of a lovely roundness in the mid-palate, which I think is really important and that you don't necessarily see. There's kind of a roundness and a softness and a velvetyness in the mid-palate that comes from the garden vineyard. Yes, the savoury notes, more dark, the rose petals, but also that slight mushroominess happens with the Robinson with some bottle age. And it starts sort of kicking in about the 6 or 7 year point. So I think that's nice. Nareem, I think that the whiteboard marker reference is a little bit less appealing, perhaps, than the tea and the nutmeg character. It is really smooth. Hi, Jeremy. Jeremy's here. Lots of discussion regarding Asian savoury fifth taste umami things going on. Totally. It comes with the evolution of these warmer years, like 13 as well. And that's right. You know, in the cooler years, we see a bit more soy notes coming through, whereas in the warmer years, we get kind of more lifted Asian and sometimes Moroccan aromatics. But there's almost a Chinese five spice and a star anise kind of a note. And I am going to go for that tissue now. Excuse me, everyone. Off camera. Oh, just talk amongst yourselves. And I think it's testimony to this wine that I'm a little bit stuffed up now and I can still smell some beautiful aromatics here. And I'm starting to get, it is definitely raining outside now, starting to get some, I know, it's always very professional here at Moorooduc, hey Shell. I'm starting to get now, as the wine's opening up more, some slightly more herbaceous notes, which I think is really interesting. There's kind of a salty celery salt kind of note in there as well, which I think is really intriguing. But then you put it in your mouth again, and it is, Alison's right, it's so smooth. It's got this kind of smooth, velvety, silky sort of texture to it. It's just delicious. And it's one of those wines. And in fact, it was really interesting. And I don't know if you're out there tonight, but I got a message from someone who's not on the Drinks with Kate mailing list. So he must have seen the post through our Facebook post. But he sent me a little email saying, where's the call to action? Why isn't there a link where I can buy this wine? This is atrocious. And I'm like, oh no, that's fine. You can buy the wine, but you have to buy it in the Drinks with Kate box because we've only got little bits of these wines, and the only way you can taste them is Drinks with Kate. Now, that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes we're looking at new releases and sometimes we're looking at even wines before they're released. And Jeremy and I have a really cunning plan for the next box, which is going to be great fun. We just need to check the wine tomorrow to make sure that we're happy to show it. But it'll be quite a young wine. It'll be a really interesting discussion. But I think it's really testament to you guys and to what we do that I haven't had people complaining that I'm promoting wine that they can't follow a link to buy every week until this week. And we're into year 4 of Drinks with Kate, and we're certainly in the second half of the year. I was doing my sums. And if we have a break for a week after this box and then go straight on to the next box, then we do actually have time, if we keep going without a break, to do 2 more boxes before we break for Christmas. So I guess that's something else that I'd be interested to know. If you guys are interested to keep going through December, or if you'd like to, we can stretch it out a little bit and just have like a little group champagne tasting at the beginning of December and then take our break. So I'll just be looking at that and having a think about that. So do by all means send me an email if you've got strong feelings about it either way. But I think it's really exciting that we're really scary that we're in September already, but we've had some nice wines so far and we've got some more to go. Kay is finding some lanolin and a little bit of the heart's in the way of your comment. Oh, the salt and our little candy apple. Absolutely. Fiona, we will do a champagne tasting. And the other thing that we really need to do is see if we can get back around to doing that mezcal tasting, Emily and Kevin. We need to talk about that, whether we do that at the end, towards the end of the year, or whether we do it early next year. But that would be nice to make the mezcal available in one of the boxes. Might make it a bit more expensive. Okay. So now I'm getting some violet notes, which is really interesting because it just takes it. You know, we taste these wines and we kind of go, well, and you're going to Champagne in April. Awesome. Oh, Alison, I've given you the date for Live Drinks with Kate, and I'm going to promote it probably next week. It's October the something. Oh, you've all got it in your diary, I'm sure. Yeah, it's the middle of October, but I'll send out the link for booking, and it'll probably be just a ring Linda and give us your details kind of link for booking, because we've got a bit where our technology is since Jeff left us, and Jeff would like whip up a button for this and whip up a button for that. We've got a bit more old school these days, but we're definitely doing Live Drinks with Kate in October. We could, and that's the other thing that I was thinking, that we maybe, you know, that's going to be on a Sunday afternoon, October the 8th, was it, Peter and Karen? It was something like that. And I don't have my diary with me. It's over there. And again, it's not cool for me. I could walk over there and you could just like talk to each other. Hang on a sec. We'll do that. Stay there. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Okay. I'm back. Kevin, brand new shipment arriving soon. Official artisan mezcal brand now. Okay, cool. Excellent. It sounds very cool. Have you got half bottles, or are they all 750ml bottles? That's. I'll talk to you privately, Kevin. We will get this worked out. So October the 5th. Oh no, that's the single vineyard Chardonnay. Yeah, the 8th. Drinks with Kate Live, 8th of October. Put it in your diary, and I'll send out the booking link in the next week. I promise. So much going on. It's very exciting. Karen, the nose is wonderful and varied. It keeps changing. Tasting for me at first was so smooth, struggled to pick up the flavours, but as a few tasters in its opening, and I get super rich berries with lots of pepper. I agree. It's quite peppery. It's quite rich as it opens up, but it's taken a little while to open up on the palate. Shell, everyone wants to know where you got your wallaby from. Well, Alison does at least, and I'd be interested as well. I've had kangaroo. I've had wallaby actually. 10 Minutes by Tractor used to do a wallaby tartare, which was pretty delicious, and they matched that to Pinot as well. The other surprising match that I've had to a Pinot Noir, maybe a little bit lighter than this, also at 10 Minutes by Tractor, was barramundi. So usually fish is a little bit light for Pinot Noir flavours, but the sort of the meatiness and slight muddiness of barramundi works really well with Pinot Noir. So I recommend that you try that one of these days if you like barramundi. It's delish. Wallaby from Coles. It's a scoop. That's amazing. Oh, Alison's got big thunder now. Oh, exciting. We've got rain, but I haven't heard any thunder yet. So it's all happening. It's all very exciting. Very spring weather here. Thunder and lightning in Melbourne. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye. It was actually the other thing that was really weird about the weather. As we were walking the dogs, it was like the weather kind of skirted around us, and we were in the eye of the storm for ages, and it's finally reached us, but it took ages. Okay, it's getting me now. Sorry, guys. Yes, Karen. No, you're not losing the touch at all. Oh my goodness, they talk about storm allergies and asthma and stuff, and I don't get, well, hopefully, touch wood, I don't get asthma, but I certainly, it's really interesting when the storms come along, get a little bit of sneezing going on. No, hopefully no thunderstorm asthma, Fiona. Dogs are ignoring the weather, too focused on the food. Oh God. Well, it's certainly got my sneezes going on anyway. Excuse me. The only thing I miss about living in Sydney is a good storm, Shell. Indeed. Well, I love a good storm too, and Polly loves it. She likes to watch the thunder and lightning. She's a little bit of a devil dog that way. I don't know. I think Jill's feeding them. No, she's in bed. She's asleep. Hasn't even noticed. I know. Yeah, I know Zyrtec, absolutely, Kay. I just didn't bring any today because I didn't think of it. I've got stuff at home. I know, Alison, and anyway, hopefully everyone's fine. I'm not feeling wheezy at the moment. I'll let you know if it changes. And I hope everyone else out there is fine, because I'm the only one that you have to watch sneeze and sniffle and snuffle, but it might be affecting other people as well. So just keep enjoying your Pinot. It's medicinal now as well. There's a little bit of Kirsch, so cherry liqueur coming through now on the wine as well, which I think is really interesting. The spice is kind of just fading back a little bit as it opens up more, and the cherry is becoming a bit more liqueured, a bit more concentrated. It's really rather lovely. Is anyone having a steak out there? A beef steak. I know that Michelle and Andrew are having their wallaby steaks, which I think would be delicious. But I was thinking, the reason I talked about steak is that one of the things that I love the most when I go up to town is Claritina. Me too. The steak was stir fried, absolutely, Fiona. Rob and Deb are onto your steak afterwards. Good, very sensible. Yeah, Nareem, I've got all the hay fever medications at home. I just didn't think that I didn't think we were up to that stage of the season yet. Anyway, it's all good. One of the things that I love the most is going to a French restaurant like Francois in Melbourne and having just the steak and the frites and the béarnaise sauce or the mushroom sauce and a beautiful glass of Pinot Noir. And a lot of people say, no, Pinot Noir is too light for steak. And I think that some Pinot Noirs are, but certainly the Pinot Noir that we make and a lot of Pinot Noirs from places like Burgundy tend to have quite a lot of tannin as well as concentration of flavour. And again, that umami character that we've been talking about and that Jeremy pointed out, that's bringing all that meaty, mushroomy, spicy kind of character coming through. And it works really well with a really nice piece of steak. And I think I always get sad when people think that they can only drink Shiraz with steak or Cabernet with steak, because yes, a good Cabernet or a good Shiraz is good with steak too, but a really lovely Pinot Noir like this. And as Jeremy said, and as we talked about last week, 2016 was a warmer year, so you got richer, darker fruit characters. You've got those earthy notes. You've got those mushroomy umami notes in the wine, and they work really, really well with the protein of a piece of beef. So Jeff and Sue, because I reckon it could be Jeff. I know Jeff and Sue take it in turns to make comments. Pork and pistachio terrine's working well with the wine, I bet, absolutely. Oh, Kevin. Okay, Kevin and Emily are having a lamb roast in a bit. That'll be lovely too. Fiona, I agree. Fillet steak can be quite delicate, and it's got lovely texture to it. The flavour is not too heavy, and I'm a bit of a sucker for a béarnaise sauce, and it's a bit of a. Some people don't like it with Pinot Noir because it's egg based and it's quite rich. But I think it works really well in the right proportions if it's made well, and it's got a little bit of tarragon in it or a little bit of mustard. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, how's this wine evolving? Dad, I might need to get that decanter back to have a little fresh pour. Richard, I might need the decanter back for a little fresh pour. So I was fine with a wine of this age. When it gets a little bit, thank you, it's just started to fade. Thank you, that's heaps. It's just started to fade in the glass. And so if you then put some fresh in on top from the bottle or from the decanter, it kind of refreshes the wine in the glass. And there you go. It's gone back to how my glass of wine was looking maybe 10 or 15 minutes ago. It's really amazing. Completely different with a bit more air in it. Absolutely, Kay. Café de Paris butter is also very good, Peter and Karen. So yeah, but and you pour a little bit more in the glass and all the perfume comes back and all that intensity and the rose petals, it's changing again. But as soon as it goes a little bit flat in the glass, you either have to drink it quickly or top it up, because topping it up will help to bring back that freshness. But it is one of those things that you see with a wine that has a bit of age in the bottle, that it has a lifespan once you've opened it. And the older the wine is, often, and it depends on each individual wine, but the older the wine is, the quicker it will fade off. Cotty and John are having to turn up the volume because the rain on the tin roof's drowning me out. Oh no! Oh good. John says it hasn't affected the wine. That's good. Excellent. It's sounding quite dramatic here as well. It's starting to sound quite dramatic here as well. So I think the garden will enjoy it. I was saying to Dad, it was interesting. We were walking around the vineyard today and we went down the far end, and it's starting to dry out there, which is pretty amazing. The red bit of the bomb radar is right over Moorooduc. It feels a bit like that, Fiona, so thank you for letting me know. I'm actually, while we're talking, I'm having a look to see what we're supposed to be tasting next week. Not because I'm about to leave you, but I just thought I'd get myself organised while I was talking. Oh no, but I can't do it. I can't talk and type and Moorooduc Estate. There we go. Oh, drinks with Kate would have worked as well. Apparently we're closed according to Google, which is good. And so, is it Shiraz next week? Feels like it should be a white wine. What do you think, guys? Is it the Pinot Gris? It's the Shiraz. It's 2019 Shiraz. That's awesome. The Duck Shiraz. No, David, the Duck Shiraz isn't the only one left. We've got the Duck Shiraz next week, week 5, and then week 6, we have the 2021 Robinson Vineyard Pinot. Have you drunk that already? It's one of those dangerous things with these drinks with Kate boxes that you kind of go, oh, I just feel like a little bottle of this. Nareem, 24 degrees and dry there. It sounds gorgeous. So how long are you guys away for? Is it just 2 weeks? Yeah, the rain's pretty heavy now here. Okay, so yes, McIntyre Shiraz 2019 next week. So maybe we're supposed to have a bit of a cold front coming through on the weekend. So I don't know what it's supposed to do next week. But McIntyre Shiraz works in any weather, so it's okay. And then we've got the Robinson Vineyard Pinot the following week, which is going to be cool. And then we've got to think, I thought we'd have a little break while I get myself organised and get the wine, the next bracket out to you, 12 days. How gorgeous, Nareem. I hope you have beautiful weather, and I hope you get lots of lovely beach weather, and it's just gorgeous. I feel like I've just come back from holiday, but I feel like I need another one. Jeremy and I were talking about holidays, and Jeremy hasn't had a holiday for a long time, so I think that probably it's his turn next. And Polly's looking at me to say, don't go on holiday again. I'm getting a very strong look about not going on holiday again from her. So there you go. How's the wine going? It makes me think of peppery meat juices now. You know when you fry or saute steak in butter, and in the pan you've got the juices and you've got the pepper, and you can make a sauce with it if you want to, or you just pour it back over the potatoes on the side or whatever. It's got that meaty, sweet meaty kind of character to it now, which is making me wish I'd organised some steak for my dinner tonight, which of course I haven't, because I always get you guys organised, but I'm hopeless at getting myself organised. Anyway, Pinot Noir, I think, is a grape variety that really it doesn't need this much time in bottle, but it's a real revelation, I think, to get to drink something like this with 7 years of age. it makes me wish that I had a case of this in my cellar rather than just a couple of bottles to share with you guys, which is fine. But I always think I must put some Pinot Noir in my cellar. And then I don't, or I put it in my cellar and then I drink it. So it is a bit of a treat to get to taste something that's 7 years of age. And it doesn't need, I don't think it needs a lot more time in bottle, but I don't think it's going to fall over anytime soon either. So if you do happen to have a case of this in your cellar and you're just starting to crack into it now, then don't have to rush. I think it'll be fine. And if you don't, 2016, I can't think of a vintage recently that's particularly similar to 2016, but I think that the 2020 Estate Pinot Noir that's going to be in the next box, because we're getting very close to releasing that, is going to be a little bit of a revelation as well. So Pinot Noir at all ages, I think, can be pretty exciting. I think I'm going to leave it there because I feel like I'm going to get more sneezy and stuffed up, and I think that that's probably a good place to end because I don't think you need to be watching me blowing my nose all night. It's been awesome. Jackie, the beef bourguignon next week with the Shiraz, that would be delicious as well. Oh, homemade pizzas tonight, matching well. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear. I will have another recommendation to go with the Shiraz, but I do think, Jackie, your idea of beef bourguignon with Shiraz next week would be absolutely delicious. Cotty, I can't believe that 20 odd years ago I wouldn't drink a Pinot because they all seem to be thin, strawberry and disappointing. I agree. I think Pinot Noir in Australia has come such a long way. It's so exciting, partly because our vines are older, partly because our winemakers are older and more experienced. We know how to deal with it better. We're not, certainly at Moorooduc, and I think a lot of producers in Australia quite like a bit of structure in their Pinot these days. So we're looking for a bit more tannin. The warmer the climate of the region, so if you go to Adelaide Hills, sometimes in the warmer parts of the Yarra Valley, they need to be a bit gentler in the way they handle the skins with the juice. But here, because I think our cool maritime climate that we've got here really helps us to retain perfume in our Pinot, so we can work the skins with the juice quite hard during fermentation, give us some more texture and weight and body to the wine. And it's certainly not that kind of, I always used to think of young vine, early Australian Pinot Noirs as being like strawberry jelly. You know, the jelly crystals, when you put the water in it before it's set, that kind of sweet strawberry, but not enough texture to actually make it a delicious wine. But I think these days it's pretty serious. It's pretty delicious. You can match it with Estate. You can match it with beef bourguignon. You can match it with Wallaby Shell. And thank you for the tip about getting it at Coles. Yeah, you better get back to Coles and stock up on your Wallaby now. You've told us all where to get it because you could be in trouble now. I'm going to leave you guys here. It's been awesome. I will take my Zyrtec before I start talking next week. But it's been awesome to see you. Take care, and I'll see you with the new 2019 Shiraz next week. Enjoy the rest of your 2016 Pinot Noir, and cheers. Thanks, everyone. Oh, sorry. Yes, exactly. People are talking about Pinot Noir and Shiraz now. So that's awesome. And we'll talk about Shiraz again a bit more next week. Thanks, guys. Cheers.